and today we're going to do another Tomahawk project. This project is going to be, again, slightly different than what we've seen in the past. Today I'm going to incorporate some stock removal, at least for the Tomahawk body portion of the work. Just trying to streamline, making these Tomahawks and just trying to perfect my own method. So we're starting with a piece of 2" by 1/4 inch, and it's going to be 11 inches long. So I've already made one doing this, and it turned out decent. It turned out pretty good. I like the way it went. It really sped up making the Tomahawk body portion of the work. And I have a piece here that's pre-cut. I'll bring it over to the anvil and I'll show you the dimensions that we're going to start with. So hold on. Alright, so this is the piece that I have prepped. Starting with 11 inches of stock length. The center line is 5.5, 2 inches wide, and I've already pre-cut the shape that I want the Tomahawk to be. And I went ahead and traced this template onto the next piece of steel. If everything works out fine, I can go straight to the bandsaw and cut this one out, and then it'll be ready to go. So first one I did, I cut 10 inches. I like the way it looks, but I just want to get another 1/2 inch of length out of it, because when I fold it, it's going to take that inch and cut it in half. So get another 1/2 inch of length out of it, and I can always trim it back if I have to. I got the bit pre-ground, ready to go. That's a high carbon spring steel, and Tomahawk body is just going to be mild steel. So I'm going to get this in the forge. I still have to do some forging on it. I'm going to taper the ends to accept the bit, and that'll fan that out a little bit wider. And I'm probably going to, on the outside of the body, kind of forge the edges for the wrap, and just so it doesn't look cut out. But go ahead and get the forge on, get started. So hold on. All right, so we're gonna get in here and start with this taper. And I'll taper back about as wide as the bit is. Maybe a little bit further. Alright, so that's about my 4th heat. And I'm about where I need to be with it. Forge a little bit on both sides. I'll even everything out. Alright, so that's about where we're going to be. So I'm going to flip it around. We're going to taper the other side, so I'll just bring it back when the other side's tapered. So I got both of my tapers in. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap this thing. I marked center with a chisel, so it's right around in here. get that orange again. Alright, now I'm just going to even it up a little bit. I'm not going to be able to close it up because I have to clean up the inside. Get ready for the forge weld. Trying to close it up evenly. Or as close as I can get it. Alright, I'm going to stop right there, so I'm going to have to clean up the inside. Alright, so I'm going to actually do some preforming on this on the handle eye before I clean it all up. The closer I get this thing to fit the handle now, really the less work I'm going to have to do later. I'm going to do some forging, just kind of around the drift here. Like I said, it's kind of just to take away that appearance that it was cut out. And the lap is a little off. My points here aren't quite lining up yet. So that might be something I have to just fix in the grind. Isn't any kind of a big deal. I probably will want to tweak those dimensions on the next one. Alright, so I got this kind of formed around the eye a little bit. Let's see if I can open it up, see if it's still hot enough. Next I'm going to get it over to the belt grinder. I got to get the inside here cleaned up. And get the inside cleaned up. We'll get it some flux in there. We're going to go ahead and weld around the outside with the MIG welder to kind of seal up the Tomahawk body. And then I'm going to forge weld it all together. Alright, so here we are with the a little bit of preliminary eye work. Just kind of wrapping it around, getting it around the drift, getting somewhat of a teardrop that's going to be close to my handle. I got inside here cleaned up. I went ahead and evened up the front on the belt sander, evened up the top on the belt sander, and just all the way around just kind of brought everything in even. So inside here is all cleaned up. I'm going to put this in the vise. I'm going to squeeze it together. I'm going to run a bead of MIG weld inside the eye right across the back, and that's going to help hold that together. And then I'm going to go ahead and seal up this Tomahawk body from the bead that I weld inside the eye all the way up to about where the bit's going to be set. And once I get those MIG welds on the bottom, on the top, and in the eye, of course we're going to leave the front open, no MIG weld in the front. We're going to start our forge welding. So we're going to seal up this Tomahawk body to keep the air out with the MIG weld, and then we're going to forge all the whatever impurities or whatever, the little molten pieces of steel out the front where the bit's going to go, and then this body will be ready to size the eye and accept the bit. So I'm not going to do any of that on camera because I don't like welding while I film. Cameras are expensive, and I see a lot of people do it, but I don't want to mess my camera up. But I will show you what we wind up with. I've done this in other videos too, so I am going to get that done and I'll bring you back. Alright, so I got my weld in the back of the eye. Now I'm just trying to get some flux down inside here. Melt some flux in there. Then I'm going to seal the top and bottom of the body. Alright, so go ahead and close this up. The best I can. Alright, now I'm going to put I'm going to seal the top, seal the bottom. This will be ready to start forge welding. Alright, she is ready to start forge welding. Sealed here, sealed here, sealed in the back. It's open in the front. When I start forge welding, I'm going to start from the back, move to the front. Hopefully push out anything that's impure in there and get this thing sealed up. I've had pretty good luck with this process, so just going to kind of stick with it. Then yeah, it'll be ready to move on to the next step. So I'm going to crank the forge up to about 22 pounds of pressure. Get this thing nice and hot, yellow hot, almost white hot, and get the forge welding. So hold on. So while I have this thing pretty close to forge welding temperature, I'm going to start getting this eye shaped up. Like I've said in other videos, really just don't want to drive it in. Kind of want to forge the eye around the drift versus just hammering it in. I'll take a couple of heats, get that down in there, probably about halfway, and then we'll think about getting set up for the bit. I'll probably take one more heat and call that for now. Just kind of see how the eye's shaping up. Alright, so I got the body forge welded and I got the eye drift in there. Pretty good start. It's got a little bit more work to do in the eye. I got this separated out where the bit's going to go. I'm going to get this all cleaned up on the belt sander. Get the scale and stuff off. Then we're going to squeeze the bit in there with a little bit of flux. I'm going to put a little tack here and a little tack here with the MIG welder just to hold the bit in place. And then we're going to forge weld the bit in. So I'll show you all that before we get it into the forge for the forge welding process. But not a lot to see there. Just going to, like I said, clean up in here and set the bit, tack, and we're going to forge weld that bit in. Then we'll be ready to finish off the eye and bring this thing to its final shape. Alright, so got this all cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and get some flux in here. Then we're going to get the bit in there. I'm almost out of flux. Then we're going to get the bit in here. I'm going to go ahead and heat it back up. Alright, so I got the bit tack welded in there. And can't get the flux out of here. Just sprinkle a little bit more flux on here. I got flux down inside there, and probably good enough, but I only got a couple pinches left, so might as well just let it go. But yeah, the bit's tack welded in, and we are ready to start forge welding. Get a little bit more flux on here. Last pinch. Last pinch. Woo! Alright, so let's get this in. We're going to get it forge welded and get it final shape and all done. Alright, so we're going to do a couple of taps excess bit here. A little bit of, I guess, blending, I guess. That's kind of where it's going to look like. This around, get back on the eye. Alright, so I'm pretty near the end of this forging. There's going to be some work to do on the grinder, of course. A little bit of straightening up in the vise, I think. I don't know how much eye work I have left to do. I had some handles come in. I ordered a 5. And one out of the 5 is a little bit small, so I'm going to try to use that handle on this forging. So maybe, maybe not. I'm done with the eye work. I don't know yet. If that handle fits after this thing cools down, I'm going to say yes. But so far, this is where we're at. I don't know if it's so much a Tomahawk as it is a Rat Viking axe or whatever, but nice broad head on it. Get this back in forge, and I'm going to go ahead and finish forging in the final bevel, the final edge, and I'm going to test fit that handle that came in a little bit small, and if that fits, this is going to be done. If it doesn't, then we're going to do a little bit more drifting on the eye. So we'll see if I come back. All right, so I just did the final heat on the edge here, and this thing's ready to be profiled on the belt sander. You can kind of see what we wound up with. We have some excess mild steel running off the edges, so we're going to get that ground back, get the front cutting edge profiled, and I'll test fit a handle. I might have to go back and expand this eye, because I had one handle, like I said, that came in small, and I'm hoping to use it here. But when I say small, it's not like really small. It's not like Mouse Hawk small. It's just a little bit smaller. So, and I would like to get that used up on this forging right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, shut up, let this thing cool down. I'm gonna profile it. I'm gonna test fit that handle, and then I'll bring y'all back, hopefully to a final product. We'll see. All right, so I did a test fit on the handle, and everything was just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do the heat treat. I'm gonna get this Hawk into a 425-degree oven for the temper, and that's pretty much where we're gonna leave it for 2 hours, and that'll pretty much be the day. So this is the final shape. Well, I don't know about final, but all right, here it is. This is the one we just got done making, and it is ready to go. Got the final edge ground into it, final profile and cleanup. Got a nice black and burnt oil finish on it that's been soaked in linseed oil. And this Hawk here is the first one I made using this method with the stock removal. The stock removal on the body, along with the MIG welding technique, and yeah, this has all just been kind of a quest to get like my own technique in getting these made. Something I know is going to be durable. I don't have to worry about forge welds failing or anything like that. So, but I still want to incorporate, you know, the forge welding and all the old school blacksmith techniques that were used to make this stuff. I think I'm getting a pretty good. I think I'm getting a pretty good blend of new technology versus traditional ways of making it, to kind of come up with a product that I feel really comfortable selling. And so this was the first one I did using this method, and you can see it's a little bit shorter. I started off with a piece of 10-inch long stock, and this was a piece of 11-inch stock. So I think I like the extra ½ inch, but to be honest with you, I kind of really like both of them. These handles that I'm getting now, I was using Axes and Hatchets.com, but they do have premium handles. I'm not going to complain about their handles. Their handles are phenomenal, but they're just not worth $19 each anymore. And when I started buying handles from Axes and Hatchets, they were like $9.99, and you could catch them on sale at $8.99 if you bought 5 or more. And I thought that was an awesome deal for a premium handle that already has a finish on it, and very consistently sized. I mean, their handles are very, very consistently sized. I actually made my Tomahawk drift based on the dimensions of their handles. But having said that, yeah, now they're up to like 19 bucks a handle. I found an alternative. I'm getting these handles from a place called Crazy Crow. They're out of Texas, and they're just basically at a fraction of the cost. I mean, I can get 3 handles to the cost of 1 handle, what I was paying before. Now these handles, they do come to you in the rough. They've pretty much just been shaped, and there's not a lot of finish work. There's not any finish work. You're going to get a piece of American hickory that's been shaped into a handle, and you're going to have to do a bit of sanding and sometimes even a little bit of shaping. But for that price point, with the tools that I have and the time that I have, I don't have a problem with it. I'd rather save the money and do the little bit of extra work. Nice save. And another thing about them, like, you know, this one did come in a little bit small, and I have noticed they're a little bit train. They're a little bit inconsistently sized, but for the most part, if you keep your eyes drifted to a smaller size, then you can just kind of adjust from there, you know, to make your handles work for you. You can kind of see I went all the way to the end of my drift on this one, and it worked out just fine. This one here, I made it about halfway up my drift, so just kind of know that they are a little bit inconsistently sized, but you know, for $6 a handle, and they actually even have cheaper ones that are like reject handles, I guess they kind of call them, things that don't kind of make the final cut. I think they're selling those like for $4 a handle, but that's kind of like a buyer beware thing. But I'm going to shut up about Crazy Crow and talk about my store now. These will eventually be listed on my Etsy channel, and like I said, I'm just on a quest to come up with my way of doing a wrapped eye, axe, tomahawk, whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm kind of critiquing it and getting it to where I want, to where I can make one of these in a day, and that's from start to finish. Trying to you know, make the most of my materials that I have, and you know, conserve on propane, stuff like that. So I think doing this stock removal with that wider stock, it really streamlined, you know, how fast I could get that body made. And once you get the body made, getting the bit in there, getting that forge weld in, is that goes pretty fast. So, because at that point everything's already hot. But I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you guys go, and just want to thank y'all for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, check out my store, and we'll see you on the next one.